Let's talk about an important subject, which is understanding patient movements between the ED and other departments. We're going to talk about outpatients moving to an outpatient setting, an inpatient setting, and an outpatient-in-a-bed setting. First, let's go through some definitions. This is for the purposes of site-to-site movement, but they really apply the same thing as within site. It's just that there is no transfer included. For the purpose of definitions, let's define these as outpatient locations. Any ED is an outpatient location, even if it includes just stopping in the ED. If you're just going to stop in the ED, this is outpatient. UCCs are outpatients. Day surgeries are outpatients. Outpatient clinics, guess what? Outpatients. Now, what are inpatient locations? Any floor of any kind on any hospital is an inpatient location. ICU, surgical, tele, it doesn't matter. It is an inpatient location. Operating rooms are inpatient locations. If you're directing to the OR, it's an inpatient location. The third is what's called outpatient-in-a-bed. Specific locations, they're not really clinics, they're not really inpatients, they're called outpatient-in-a-bed. These include the pediatric CDU and all the gynae-ob stuff. So GYNAC, obstetrical if you're sending in after 20 weeks, postpartum in the first 2 weeks, because you can send directly to the obstetrical floor or GYNAC, and these are called outpatients-in-a-bed. Now that we have established these definitions, let's talk about patient movement between these. We're going to start at an outpatient location, more than likely an ED, but could be a UCC. From there, we're going to move patients either to another outpatient, including just stopping in the ED, and we're going to move them to an inpatient. In the first case, these are two separate encounters. They have to be two separate encounters, which means your steps are, first, the ER doc puts a discharge order with a transfer to another site. Then the RN and the clerical staff discharge the patient and arrange transfer. Third, when they get there, they are re-triaged and re-registered at the new site. That will get them on the tracker and their care will start. If after getting there, they happen to need admission, say they were sent from Welland to G&G for a surgeon to see in the emerge, and they need admission, the PAO is entered then by the surgeon. Then this is followed up by the admission orders. First PAO, then admission orders by the MRP, which is the surgeon at the other site, unless the MRP is someone different. Outpatient to inpatient. These are one encounter. Everything flows from one to the other. These are one encounter. Steps. First, the accepting MD, say the surgeon, will enter a PAO and admission orders. They can give the PAO delegated verbally to our RN and co-sign it later. In emergencies where there is no time and you have to do this, or the surgeon has his hand bloody in an operation, this can delegate the PAO and interim orders, not the full admission orders, PAO and then interim admission orders to the emerge docs. This is the exception rather than the rule. The PAO is expected to come from the accepting MRP who's going to take care of the patient. And these are organizational rules, not ED rules. When that's done, the RN and the clerical staff will admit the patient. They will treat this as an admission, not as a discharge, and will arrange transfer to the bed on the other side. Well, how about this little new thing that's called outpatient-in-a-bed? Pediatric CDU, GYNAC, OB, and postpartum? Well, they're very much like an inpatient. It is a single encounter. Even if you're moving them in the same hospital from St. Catherine's ED to St. Catherine's upstairs to the peds, it is a single encounter. Everything flows from one to the other. In this case, the PAO and the transfer orders come from the emergency physician. And when they're put in, because instead of a discharge, you're going to put a PAO to an outpatient in a bed. And you can see that by going to my admission, referral, and consultations videos. It is the 4th or 5th chapter down from the bottom. It's only 144 seconds. You can watch it and learn all about PAOs to an outpatient in a bed. Once that's done, the nurses will consider this, will treat it as an admit, not as a discharge. It's an admit and arrange transfer as needed, whether it's from one floor to the other or from one hospital to the other. I hope this answers your questions. If you have more, you know how to get a hold of me. Thank you very much for your time.